think who I voted for would be the best to take care of Trump. Because Trump is, I'm sorry to say, an ass.
Donald Trump is so unpopular that it transcends the United States. Not only are his poll numbers, not only is his approval rating tanking in America, but it is causing Donald Trump to influence and lose elections in other countries. And you know I am talking about our neighbors to the north, where Donald Trump just suffered a brutal defeat with a victory for the Liberal Party. And that means a whole host of problems for Donald Trump that we are going to get into and talk about the results of the election in Canada tonight. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video. And if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way and it really does mean a lot to me. Now, there is a lot we have to break down here, including the result. But before we get to that, we have to, of course, start with the post from Trump that started this all off today. Trump wrote, "Good luck to the great people of Canada. Elect the man who has the strength and wisdom to cut your taxes in half, increase your military power for free to the highest level in the world, have your car, steel, aluminum, lumber, energy, and all other businesses quadruple in size with zero tariffs or taxes. If Canada becomes the cherished 51st state of the United States of America, no more artificially drawn line from many years ago. Look how beautiful this landmass would be. Free access with no border. All positives with no negatives. It would meant to be. America can no longer subsidize Canada with hundreds of billions of dollars a year that we have been spending in the past. It makes no sense unless Canada is a state." Now, it has been that message, that picking and prodding and just poking the bear that Donald Trump has been doing, spurring on this Canadian nationalism that has caused so many problems for the Conservatives in Canada. Well, Mark Carney is leading the Liberal Party into an absolute surge. And it's not just that he's leading the Liberal Party, he's also leading the pushback against Donald Trump on the global stage, which he was very clear about right here.
You know, Trump, you got to take him seriously, take him literally and seriously. And so when he says the thing about our sovereignty,
gonna make you the 51st state, quite frankly, you're the governor.
He doesn't call me that.
What
He
the
doesn't
hell did
call
you
me
say
that.
to him? Because before all this, he was saying it's the 51st state, quite frankly, they're very weak. You're gonna call him the prime minister's the governor. And then you had a phone call with him, and he's like, the prime minister's not that bad, he's very smart, I'm looking for... What did you... Do you have, like, new Polaroids of him? I don't want to see him, but do you have them? What the hell did you say to him?
Well, one of the things, look, he respects strength. And
yeah, but what'd you say?
Well, first
now, some people said that we have American bonds and that you maybe threatened to sell those off to kind of hurt the American dollar. And is there any truth in that?
I couldn't possibly comment, but that's like...
Mark Carney knows he has to get tough with Trump. Mark Carney knows that Donald Trump is only a bully because he's so insecure and weak. Mark Carney knows that he needs to push back, and he has been. And like I said, it is that force around him that has galvanized so many Canadians very clearly. Like, take a look right here. This was his closing message in the campaign.
We see every day what the politics of slogans and anger and chaos are doing south of the border. They are dividing and they are weakening the Americans. And that is why, that is what, that they are not united anymore. United in name only. And now the Americans want our strength. They want our resources, our water, our land. They want our country. There's your answer. There's your answer. Because Canada is not America. Canada is not America. Thank God. America is a melting pot. Look around this room. We're all Canadians. We're all Canadians. We're all distinct. We're all Canadians. Canada is unresolved. It is true that President Trump has betrayed Canada. He's betrayed Canada. And he has ruptured the global economy. Our old relationship with the United States is over, unfortunately.
All because of Donald Trump. All because of Donald Trump and his 51st state rhetoric. Mark Carney will continue to be Prime Minister of Canada as the Liberals have won this election. Donald Trump causing another defeat which will ultimately make it more difficult for him to do his dumb trade war. Mark Carney will not bend the knee to Donald Trump. Mark Carney is the one who has gotten Donald Trump to stop the governor shtick because he's terrified of him. This is a guy operating at a much higher level than Donald Trump ever could imagine. Of course, so was Justin Trudeau, but clearly Mark Carney getting under that skin a little bit more, and he's going to be much longer. Because like I said, Liberals have won in Canada, much like we saw in Wisconsin. It's a good little border right there, and that's a big problem for Donald Trump because he only becomes more and more unpopular every day, and Rachel Maddow broke that down in a clip I want to check out right here.
There's also a new NBC News SurveyMonkey poll. Same thing you'd expect broadly, looking at all the other polling. It all says the same thing. Trump underwater on essentially everything. And on almost all issues, he is deeply underwater. That is absolutely true in the new NBC News SurveyMonkey poll as well. Top line in that poll, approval of Trump is underwater, -10. Approval of Elon Musk is underwater, -18. Yikes. But they ask some of these questions in an interesting way, and they give you ways to parse them that are interesting. Look at this. This is the depth of feeling. Just breaking out the people who are strongly approving or strongly disapproving of Trump and Musk. I mean, that's horrendous for them. Look at that. The strongly approve number. You've got the bottom left one is wrong there. See the 42? That should be strongly disapprove. Strongly approve is 26. Strongly disapprove is 42. On Musk, strongly favorable 21. Strongly unfavorable is 41. There are a lot more people in this country who strongly disapprove of Trump and Musk than there are people who really like them. And let me just show you just one other interesting thing from this new NBC poll. This is great. Which of the following emotions describes this is like a Pixar movie. Which of the following emotions best describes how you are currently feeling about the actions the Trump administration has taken so far during its term? And they give people the big list of possible answers, the big list of emotions: thrilled, happy, satisfied, neutral, dissatisfied, angry, or furious. The number one answer for how you feeling about Trump so far, number one answer is furious. More than anything, people feel furious about Trump's actions thus far, 100 days into his presidency. So you know what? It's not going great for the guy. It's really not. I think Trump has started to realize that this public opinion stuff is going to be the story of how his first 100 days have gone. I mean, heading into his first 100 days, today's like day 98, the headlines are like this: Trump's approval at 100 days lower than any president in at least 7 decades. Yeah, how's it going, big guy? You can tell it's bugging him. Because he posted this online today. He posted that the press, quote, cheats big on polls. Really? All of them? He's ranting now. He's calling the polls fake. He says they're fake polls. And he says he wants pollsters investigated for election fraud. What election? He says pollsters are, quote, sick. He calls pollsters, quote, negative criminals. What's a negative criminal? What does that even mean? Is being a negative criminal better or worse than being a positive criminal? What's a negative criminal? And what crime are pollsters committing with their negative criminal fake election fraud poll fake stuff? The president is very upset that the polls show that the country does not like him. The country really, really does not like him and sees his first 100 days as a disaster. He has had, in public opinion terms, he has had the most disastrous first 100 days of any president since the dawn of modern polling. No president has ever botched the first 100 days more badly than Donald Trump has botched it. And that's true not just for his approval rating generally and how people feel about him. It's for every single thing you ask the American public about in terms of what he has done. Do you like any of it? No. Today, Donald Trump started threatening Republican U.S. senators that they better not vote against him this week on this tariffs bill. This is a bill that's going to come up in the Senate that has precisely zero chance of becoming law because they're never even going to vote on it in the Republican-controlled House. Even if it passed the Senate, it would go nowhere. There's no chance it can actually become law. Still, though, Trump appears to be freaking out that Republican senators are going to vote against him on it, because his tariff adventures are rating somewhere between lice and bedbugs in terms of their popularity with the American people. And what Republican senator wouldn't want to distance him or herself from that? He's threatening Republican senators that they better not vote against him on this, not because the vote will matter, but because he's desperate to stop his own party from turning against him. Just 100 days in, as he pursues a radically unpopular agenda and, frankly, does so very poorly. He's doing things that the American people hate the idea of, and then when he executes on those things, he fails. Bad ideas done badly. So listen, here's where I think we are right now. I think that Trump and the Trump administration are going to throw some increasingly wild pitches to try to change the political trajectory of how things are going. I mean, they're now deporting U.S. citizens. You can't deport a U.S. citizen. U.S. citizens are from here. There's nowhere to deport them to. They're now arresting judges, right? It's insane. I think that we should expect some wild pitches, some truly reckless actions to try to change the trajectory of how things are going, to try to make it seem like this is a new game. I think because of that instinct in Trump, we should expect that there are going to be some things ahead that are markedly more horrible than even what they have done already. I think they're going to try to put some proverbial heads on pikes, and I think that's going to be terrible. I also think, though, that the more important truth here is that the country is against them, and the country is against him, and he knows it. And the country is not only willing to get out and protest against him, they are willing to do it over and over and over and over and over and over again in every state in the country and just about every town. Culturally, it is now firmly established that capitulation and sucking up to Trump is shameful and weak and marks you as a loser. Conversely, I think it is culturally ingrained now that saying no to Trump and fighting him and standing up to him shows that you are strong and a winner and somebody who other people might be interested in.
Liberals in Canada are riding this wave. Let's do it at home. He's our president causing problems with people that hate him. How about we coalesce this same energy, continue to use our agency, and how about we have an even bigger election win come 2026? I like the idea of that. We're going to be working at it every single day. And if you want to support that on this show, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. And if you stuck around at the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And you know what? Drop a red heart too for our friends in Canada, our Liberal Party in Canada. Until next time, I'll see you soon.